Today's Baxter State Park adventure brings us to hike number 2, Hamlin Peak, and possibly Baxter Peak too if time and conditions allow. We'll be taking the Chimney Pond Trail, over to Chimney Pond, then take the Saddle Trail up the saddle between Baxter and Hamlin Peak. Then from there I'll turn north on the Northwest Basin Trail to Hamlin Peak, which will be number 66 on the New England 67, if successful. This would have been number 67 if I made it to North Brunswick the other day, but, you know, shit happens, pardon my French. And once you get to the saddle, at the top of the Saddle Trail, we might head over to Baxter Peak. Forget if I said that, and then just backtrack. I've heard this part of the park in particular is really scenic, and plus I want to see Chimney Pond too, and the view from it. Well, let's do it up. Come on, number 66. We've reached our first trail junction of the day. The junction with the Huron-Taylor Trail. You can reach Baxter Peak via the knife edge. For those of you who have never heard of the knife edge, it's a long, sharp, jagged, narrow, exposed ridge between Pamela Peak and Baxter Peak. Some parts of it are 3 feet wide in places, with a near vertical drop off on either side. Or so I've heard. Since I'm solo and the trails are still a little damp, I'm steering clear of the knife edge, at least for now, but I know of at least a couple of buddies of mine who would love to go on that trail. Anyway, 3.2 miles to Chimney Pond Campground. I'll meet you farther along. Got a wooden boardwalk and some bog bridges here. Nice. We are now entering Maine's largest wilderness area. Pretty sure I can read, so you can pause the video if you want and read the sign. Got another footbridge, something that was non-existent on the Marston Trail. Ooh, a little cascade. Nice. Onward we go. Trail's gaining altitude ever so steadily. I believe that the campground and Chimney Pond are a little under 3,000 feet, so we got a little bit of work to do. Thankfully the weather's seriously looking up. Hell of a lot better than yesterday. Oh my god, this is incredible. We're at the Basin Ponds right now. Over with Katahdin and Baxter Peak, a long ridge, and Peak, which go for the figure is surrounded by clouds, even though it's shorter than Baxter Peak by 500 feet. But what are you going to do? Hopefully the clouds clear as we gain altitude. Oh wow, this is something that I'm not used to seeing on a trail. A very long, prolonged section of boardwalk, which is kind of a cool thing. Maybe bad or good depending on what your take on how a trail should be constructed is, but if it weren't for the roughness of the trail prior, you could take a wheelchair on here easily. This is nice. Little cascades too. Awesome. We've reached a junction with a North Basin cutoff. You can access the Hamlin Ridge Trail and Hamlin Peak from there. That's the way we will be going back. But we want to stay on the Chimney Pond Trail. 1 mile to Chimney Pond. Nice. Let's do it to it. Reached another junction with the North Basin Trail this time. Also goes 2.2 miles that way toward Hamlin Peak. You want to stay this way though, as it's only 0.3 miles. The Chimney Pond and the campground. Hell yeah. If something interesting happens, I'll show it to you. Otherwise, I'll meet you at the pond and the campground. Alright, we've arrived at the Chimney Pond area. This is the Chimney Pond Ranger office, I believe. And the pond should be just over here. Save video space. I'll catch you when I get to the pond. Oh my god, This is one of the coolest spots I've ever seen in my life. Just pan around. That's even better than what I saw in the pictures, but that being said, and what I record will not do this place justice. It's just an incredible spot. Gotta take a breather here and some damn good pictures. And then I'll meet you at the saddle trail. We're at the junction with the saddle trail and the cathedral trail. The cathedral trail goes steeply up toward Baxter Peak over some rock formations called the cathedrals, whereas the saddle trail, as I understand it, makes a more gentle climb up to the ridge crest. I'm gonna stick to the saddle trail for now. Take it all the way up to the ridge and then I leave the Northwest Basin Trail, the Hamlin Ridge Trail, and then that's the summit of Hamlin Peak. Anyway, I'll meet you farther up the We've been gaining altitude slightly and steadily since leaving the Chimney Pond Ranger Station. I haven't gained that much. The trail's about a mile and a half long to the ridge, so that means most of the vertical gain is probably just thrown at us right in the end. But what's a hike in Baxter State Park without a challenge? Trails have gotten more significantly steep and rocky, so this is where pace is probably going to be slowed, but hello. Look at that view out there. Just awesome. Should be getting to the saddle slide pretty soon. Nothing interesting happens, I'll meet you over there. Yeah, this is a hell of a workout. This is supposedly one of the easier trails up Katahdin. Wonder if this is a slide that sign mentioned. Whether it is or isn't, we're getting some good altitude gain in, regardless. Yep, we gotta go off that. I believe that's a saddle slide the sign mentioned. But it looks like, unless it's a false summit or more appropriately a false ridge, that's the way we that's the top of the ridge where we'll bottom out or level out. Anyway, I'll meet you farther up this thing. Yep, we gotta go up and beyond there. We just came all the way down there. Holy cow. Check out this view we're already getting. Just incredible, even with the somewhat low clouds. Really glad I came here. This hike beats the crap out of the hike I did with North River yesterday. Though I'm not totally sure how it will be in good weather conditions and trail conditions. We did it! We climbed the saddle trail. Hard to believe you just climbed up all that, and this is supposed to be one of the easier trails of Katahdin. Northwest Basin Trail. Our destination, which is right over there, Hamlin Peak, is 1.1 miles away. We travel 4.5 miles from Roaring Brook Campground, so from there to here, according to these signs, it's 5.6. I'll check my maps. Now Katahdin Baxter Peak is a mile that way, but we're gonna skip that for this trip. I've already turned back from 167 hike, and I don't want to risk climbing this thing and being unmotivated to get to Hamlin Peak. I want to make it to the top of one of my remaining peaks. So we're just gonna stay on the Northwest Basin Trail for now. Oh, and by the way, it's a lot less windy up here than I thought it would be, judging from the freight train like winds I heard down near Chimney Pond. Anyway, I'll quit babbling. I'll meet you farther up the Northwest Basin Trail. Alright, it just dropped down about 100 or so vertical. Now we got about 450 to 500 feet of vertical to the summit. That's what I'm assuming, because that is Hamlin Peak's topographic prominence, and Baxter Peak is Hamlin's parent peak. Just a guess. Anyway, onward home. Alright, the clouds are rolling in, so this might be it for views, at least for now. Out there looking toward, what I think is the Owl. Double Top Mountain up there. Then again, my Baxter geography is just a tad rusty. Yep, here kind of clouds. Anyway, I'll meet you at the junction with the Hamlin Ridge Trail. Alright, I've reached the junction with the Hamlin Ridge Trail. We're going to be taking that up and over Hamlin Peak, back down to the Chimney Pond Trail, lower down via some other trails. Another junction right there. Northwest Basin Trail. That way. Cow Peaks, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Anyway, it's 0.2 miles to the summit of Hamlin Peak. Can we do it? Can we redeem ourselves from our ill-fated attempt at North Rudder and summit number 66 after all? Let's find out. Welcome to the summit of 4,756 foot Hamlin Peak. Located in the cotton area of Baxter State Park in northeastern Maine. This is number 66 on the New England 67 4,000 footers list for me. It's sauteed and windy as hell, but it's not yet too gross and I don't want to get up there. Actually kind of cool up here. Complete lack of views. Let's pan around. Out there it would be. Oh, something's starting to pop up. I'll catch back with you if I see something. What a trip it was to get here. It was pretty difficult. It's really difficult at times, but I'll see it. Especially Chimney Pond points upward. Excellent views. So glad I came here. Oh yeah, check out that wind. There's got some trees popping up over there. I'll check that clouds clear completely. Baxter Peak and South Peak would be there. They're looking toward the north woods of Maine. Little peaks there. Double Top, OJI, Coast, South River, North River. There, I believe, are the Howe Peaks. Just incredible. I can see where the ranger I talked to at the start of the hike likes going down the Hamlin Ridge Trail. Look at this view. Just incredible. There's a, I don't think that's a chimney pond, the basic ones. Wow. Anyway, well, I'm getting low on memory storage very quickly, so if I see something interesting, I'll show it to you. I want to have enough juice to especially record a closing clip at the end. Like a little knife edge in itself. A, not taking this trail, or B, watching your steps pretty damn carefully. Alright, we're on the North Basin Trail right now. We're following it 0.2 of a mile to the North Basin Cutoff, which will follow 0.7 miles back to Chimney Pond Trail. So I'll follow that for 2 or so miles back to the car. And number 66 will officially be complete. We've reached a junction with the North Basin Cutoff. 0.7 miles back to the Chimney Pond Trail, and 3 overall from that point to the Roaring Brook Campground. Nothing interesting happens, so I'll meet you at the Chimney Pond Trail. Alright, we're in a bit of a conundrum here. This part of the North Basin Cutoff is legit completely flooded. Good thing it's happening when I'm going down and not up. Anyway, I'm going to try and get through this thing, and then I'll meet you at the Chimney Pond Trail. There's the culprit, the side share this. Beaver dams everywhere. There and there. Whatever goes, goes, I guess. Alright, we're back on the Chimney Pond Trail. Yes. And we got about a 2-mile hike back out to the car, so to save memory space for a closing clip, I'll meet you at the trailhead at the Roaring Brook Campground at the end of Roaring Brook Road in Baxter State Park. We did it. Number 66 is in the bag. I didn't get to hike everything I wanted to, but at least I got something. And it was a hell of a day for it. Windy, chilly, but the views are to freaking die for. Glad I waited till today to do Hamlin Peak. So, now it's 66 out of the 67 New England 4,000 footers, and I have 1 left, which is, you guessed it, the infamous North Grotto, which I turned back on yesterday. I got to come back for it later in the summer. Chimney Pond was relatively mellow, a bit rocky at points, but can't be helped. Saddle Trail, fairly steep going up, especially up the slide, but nothing I couldn't handle. Once above tree line, it's pretty neat. Views are good, but they slowly went away due to the clouds. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, on the Northwest Basin Trail, about a half mile from the summit of Hamlin Peak, I saw my first bear on the trail. Yep, a black bear ran into the trees, above tree line of all places, but whatever. I believe I'd get a picture of it if I could, but it ran so quick that I couldn't get on my camera. I'll just have to take my word for it. Round trip distance was, I think, 10.2 miles, I'd say 3,300 feet of gain. There's always a listed true number in the credits. So, from the Roaring Brook Campground and Hamlin Peak, see you on my next adventure.